Hey guys, pardon my little whatever. I got a little spot, and I'm drying it out. So I just wanted to come on really quickly. I am about to show you a video that I recorded yesterday, but I was contemplating not putting it on or not sharing it with the public. But I feel like it is something that is going to help somebody else. Not only what I'm saying, but the method that I use to go through self-reflection, I think is going to be helpful. So I just kind of wanted to come on and preface that if you are someone who is doing shadow work or needs to do shadow work or just is kind of in a period of reflection where you're trying to figure things out or figure yourself out, one, I want to tell you to just be open to information coming from any and everywhere, okay? And be open to guidance and be looking for it and be willing to be really honest with yourself about how you've effed up, okay, about how the things that you've done wrong, the bad choices you've made or whatever. But we'll get into it. You'll see what I mean. So I'm talking to you guys because, like I said, I recorded it for the public, but at the same time, I feel like it was me walking through my self-reflection. Okay, so I hope it's something you guys enjoy. Vibe high. Hey guys, I am on my way to the Silver Pyramid. Is it hot in here, G? To pick up some sage spray because I haven't had any in a little bit. But I was listening to this video on YouTube and it just hit me, not hard like in a bad way, but like ding, So in my past, right, for you guys who don't know, I've definitely been experiencing an awakening probably for over a little over the last year or so. And so in awakening or your consciousness rising, a lot of things in your life transform so that you can walk into the role that you are supposed to be in, right? To serve your life purpose, your soul mission, right? To fulfill your soul mission. And so a lot of things have changed in my life. A lot of situations, people, friendships, I have cut out. And so I'm working on my trust issues. I remember I asked this a few months ago and I was supposed to really be looking into it, but I have been making so many transitions and transformations. I hadn't really looked into the trust issues yet, right? One thing that I do know is that if you don't trust yourself to make decisions, then you're going to have a hard time trusting other people, right? But also some of my trust issues came as a result of things that I've experienced in my life. I feel like this thing is moving so much. But things that I've experienced in my life, right? I remember, I don't know, I just always am looking for the next shoe to drop, right? First of all, that is manifestation, because if you're looking for and expecting the worst, then that's what you're going to get. If you're looking for or expecting things to go wrong, then that's what you're going to get. So one, I definitely had to change my mindset, and I shared an affirmation earlier today that allows me to kind of reframe the narrative that I tell myself when I'm experiencing something that is difficult. You know what I mean? So, what was that affirmation? All things lead to my success, happiness, and wealth. I say this every day, different times a day, several times a day, repeatedly, often, because I'm reprogramming my soundtrack, okay? And so, something that I've learned, of course, is that if you don't trust yourself, you won't trust other people. So if you were raised by a strict parent or coddled by a nurturing parent or overprotective parent, or you had siblings like myself who you were so close to, you never had to really do anything as an independent person, you definitely mature into an adult that does not trust themselves. So you tend to ask a lot of people for their opinions before you make a move. you tend to just really look outside yourself for guidance on everything. So I'm definitely aware of that, and Spirit has definitely led me to that clarity. And so I feel like I have, for the most part, worked through that. I trust myself to make decisions that are best for me, that are for my highest good. But then also, what Spirit just showed me now is, if you're going to rely on something outside of yourself to make moves and to follow, why should it not be the divine? Why should it not be source? Why should it not be God? And so I'm definitely in that space where I approach God and my angels pretty much about every single thing I do. Like, if I need to go do this, it's like, is that the right choice? But because we have free will, of course, they are trying to get goosies right now. They are trying to get me to understand that I do have free will and to just make the choice that is best for me, that I'm most passionate about, that is my heart, right? But it's so funny because I'll be guided to do something, and when I say guided, I definitely channel messages from the angelic realm. So I'll be guided to do something, but then I'll second guess it anyway. And the epiphany that I just had was, there is an absolute need for me to trust source so that I can end up in divine alignment, right? But because I have experienced so many things that I've experienced in my life, I feel like the relationship and my connection to God and to source is, or was, tainted with mistrust. Let me give you an example. So when I first found out I was pregnant 21 years ago, oh my goodness.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, Gabriel. That just sounds like a really long ass time ago. But when I first found out I was pregnant that many years ago, I was just like, why in the world? Like, why would God do that to me? I'm the last person. Well, one, I was resisting my calling because I'm amazing with children, and children tend to love me. Probably because I'm a big ass kid sometimes, but also because I feel like I see children and I understand them. So, but still, at the time, 21 years ago, I was like, why in the world would Spirit curse me with a child? So it took me 5 months into my pregnancy to accept and wrap my head around the fact that I am about to be a mommy, So there's that, right? But then when I go and give birth, I don't know if any of you guys have listened to my I was about to mix two videos. My Down syndrome journey, that video that I made just telling about Gabriel's birth and the things that we went through with that. Like that whole experience was really like, don't cry, girl. Was really like the carpet being pulled out from under me. Because it's like, okay, I finally wrapped my head around this. And then this is what happens, right? If you don't know, just to give you a little background, my son has had 9 surgeries or surgical procedures, but I think it's 7 surgeries, but 2 additional surgical procedures that required like anesthesia. Anyway, so I just say 9. But and that's so funny because 9 is a number of completion of fulfillment, and 7 is a number of divinity. Goosies! That's so funny. Anyway, there is nothing that you go through, guys, that is not purposed. But anyway, so having that just happen and my life just turned on a dime, everything changed, and it was extremely painful experiences. And I definitely was mad at God for like 2 years, I think it took me to really have a breakthrough where, I was just praying and asking for forgiveness for not seeing it from a higher perspective. But so that shook my trust, right? It shook my trust. It shook my faith. And I think that wasn't the start of it, because people had often, not always, but often disappointed me, right? But I think that was major. And so here I am, back on track, having experienced lots of losses in love. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what you're doing. Having experienced lots of losses in love, and losses like of close loved ones, losses of major friendships. I remember I was going to school to be a medical assistant because I was going to go from that to nursing. But truly, by the time I finished, or was almost finished with the medical assisting program, I'd already decided that Western medicine was not a field that I wanted to be a part of, because I feel like they're crooked and they don't really care about people, and they're not here to be helpful. I think that the people who are on the lower levels, that's their intention. They want to help. But the people who run the show, that is not their intention. Their intention is to make money. And that's not helpful when you are broke and trying to heal, right? So don't get me started on that. So I'd already changed my mind about wanting that anyway. But I was still like a person that wanted to be successful. I was not awakening at the time. I just knew what wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember I was having finals at this particular time. Yeah, you ran that light, ma'am. Don't run up on my bumper because you ran the light. I remember having finals one day, and my youngest son, Isaiah, he had gotten sick, and so we had to go to Children's the night before, and we were there all night. They didn't release us until about 8 o'clock. My finals started at 9 o'clock. And my sister, was she with me at the time? She was not with me, but she had to come and pick me up. But like my car on the way home, it was like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I got time to run home to Mesquite, change clothes, and fly back over here to Mockingbird and 35, to Simmons, to North Dallas. So that was like, I was going to be cutting it close anyway. Y'all, when I tell you I got on the freeway to run home and my car broke down. If you are familiar with Dallas, first of all, on Simmons, scary in itself, but it's just like, OMG, I knew it. I've worked all this time. I got a straight A in this class, a high A on top of that, and now I'm about to miss the dang final. I'm going to have to retake the course, la-di-da-di-da. Mind you, I had already delayed my courses. I took like a 3-month break because, I had the baby. I was taking care of Isaiah, and I think Gabriel had a medical issue arise. So it was just like setback after setback. I remember I was going to Eastfield Community College, and my babies were little. Gabriel was, I don't know, but Isaiah was like 2. So Gabriel was probably 6. So my mom was watching them while I was going to school at night. And then what happened? My sister had a dang stroke. She was 29, I think. My sister had a stroke. And I could not even focus to function in class, for one. But 2, I just was always looking at my phone thinking, what's next? Something's going to happen. But also I just felt like that was a lot on my mom, who was trying to kind of look after Monica, of course, and being concerned with her, even though, she didn't need support for very long at all. It was amazing healing. But anyway, that was her wake-up call to get her attention about her health, and it didn't work. So her awareness was just not there. It was just something she wasn't willing to change, I suppose. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I could not function. Then she had a stroke. I'm like, that's too much on my mom. She got 2 little babies running around, trying to take care of and help take care of my sister. So I ended up quitting. Okay, I quit school at that time. I went for it as long as I could, and I really enjoyed it because I'm a learner. Like, I love to learn. That's why, I read so much. But so that was just another instance. And so it's just like, okay, God, why do you keep allowing these things to happen? So I think that affected my trust with the divine, my trust with the universe. And so now, as I'm going through this awakening, what I'm definitely learning to do, or relearning, or having to reprogram, is the fact that I mean the divine source, my angels, my spirit guides, they have my best intention at heart. And that is always God's desire, is to lead us towards whatever is our best. But if you have something like that where you keep experiencing things where it's like, okay, I was on a path and the rug was pulled out from under me, then you're going to develop this trust issue. So if you're not able to trust source, then how you going to trust one of these little janky humans walking around? You know what I'm saying? Or if you keep aligning yourself, goosies, reframe it. If you keep aligning yourself with people, toxic connections, people who are not in your life for your good, or with bad intentions, or just not the best people for you to be around. And it's not like I was just around horrible people. It's just that their role in my life was probably just to teach me certain lessons, etc. But if those are the people you are around, then how you gonna learn to trust people? You know what I'm saying? If you are, goosebumps. I'm gonna just stick right there then. How you gonna learn to trust people? So then when you are in a relationship, and there has to be trust in a relationship, if you don't trust people, that's going to create an issue in your relationship. So my heart's desire for sure is to be in a happy, healthy relationship. A connection, though, that allows me to be me, to be my core, and supports that, but we can still have a happy connection that is not codependent, right? We're going to talk about codependency another time. I'm working through that as well. And so I now really value my solitude. I really value my freedom, but it's going to be about learning to work through that, or to be free and independent and free thinking, even though I'm in a relationship. But because of codependency, there have been times that I lose my own direction because I'm so focused on maintaining the connection. Does that make sense? But anyway, this was about trust issues. And so, like I said, if you have all these situations going on where you are not trusting other people, you're not trusting these regular old people, and you've experienced all these seemingly negative situations, and you don't trust God anymore, then you're going to forever be a person that wants to control every little thing. Because it's like something bad is always happening. So maybe if I can manage every little thing, then I can have control over things going wrong or not, right? But you can't, because at the end of the day, Source has the ultimate say-so. So it's all about surrendering to the guidance and the instruction of the divine, of Source. And when I say the guidance and the instruction, I do not mean like religious control. I mean developing a true connection to Source, where you value the guidance, because you know, goosies, because you know, like from a place of your heart, that everything you go through has purpose. Everything you go through is to cultivate something in you, is to grow you, or it's to teach you, or it's to allow you to gain this experience so that you can help somebody else. Just like now, I hope I'm helping somebody. But yeah, so wow, I think I just kind of got to the root of my trust issue. And I'm so excited. Even my angels tell me, like, you are so stubborn. And I'm like, well, because I've been asking for this and this and this, and you've been saying this, this, and this. But the thing is, nothing is overnight. Nothing is overnight. So you have to trust and be patient, but really trust that, okay, it's not here today, but we are untangling things, working things out, putting you on your path to go where it is we know your heart wants you to be. So when you're being pulled away from situations, or you're being pulled away from people, ooh, goosies, or you're being pulled away from things, it's because you got off path somewhere. It's because you forgot what your true purpose and goal was, right? I have a friend who was in a relationship. He was slaving away, chasing money to support a luxurious lifestyle. And there is nothing wrong with luxury, right? But that materialism was not his true heart. That materialism was him being dragon whipped by his spouse, not his spouse, his fiance, girlfriend, baby mama, whatever you want to call her, being whipped by her like, I need this, I want this, I need this, right? So he's working himself to the bone trying to get money so that he can continue to supply her and maintain this relationship. But then meanwhile, she's withholding the emotional connection. She's withholding the affection. So he is in turn not emotionally fulfilled. He's physically exhausted. He's drained. And so it's like, you're sacrificing yourself to maintain this connection for something that's not even important to you. So what are you getting back from that? That's a good way to drain your energy fast. You know what I'm saying? So they've broken up recently. So he's in this angry, blameful place, you know. But the thing is, the perspective that he should be taking is, I was not happy in this connection, and it was toxic and doing a number on me. It's not a connection that I needed to be in. So now here I am out of this connection and pouting. But instead of pouting, reframe your perspective. Just know that getting you out of this connection is going to guide you towards the type of connection that you want. Does that make sense? But it is all a matter of surrendering to that guidance and trusting that the root cause is to get you on track, to get you or lead you towards your purpose. Guys, I just had a whole epiphany, and it was pretty amazing. Now, it's one thing to know it, but it's a whole another ball of worms. Ball of worms? Can of worms. It's a whole nother can of worms to actually apply that knowledge, right? So, here we go. Practicing like a mug. I hope my angels are proud of me right now, because I just really just feel like I just had a major moment of clarity. And I'm so excited about it. And I was so excited. Like, let me share that with somebody. My ears are ringing right now. Let me share that with somebody else, because somebody else might need that as well. Because, of course, we are one, right? What one of us goes through, we all go through in one form or another. Anyway, I did not mean to make this video so long. And you know I didn't mean to cry. Well, it's who I am. And I'm almost at my place. So, I hope this is helpful to somebody. That's the advice, though. Learn to surrender to the divine. Learn to trust where you're being led. Learn to trust source, trust the divine, trust and believe that they have your best interest at heart. And when you are from your heart operating from a place of trust to source, that's what you're emitting, that's what you're putting out there. So those are the type of people, trustworthy people are going to be drawn to you. because you already expect it. It's what you expect. It's what you're going to get because it's what you expect. Does that make sense? Damn, that was deep. Y'all know that wasn't me. That was not me. And I am so grateful. Anyway, I hope this helps, guys. Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and post this on YouTube. So let me know in the comments what's your connection to this. Because, wow. All right. Vibe high.